Episode 6 of my shipping container box barn project. The purlins are pretty much in. That's these long dudes going this way. Kind of staggered them so the whole thing doesn't fall apart. Once I get some more bracing on, I can pull that thing and put a few more purlins right here. Right now I'm trying to figure out Eve wood stuff down at the edge. The way I've got this worked out is to create like a flat surface for the roofing and the trim and stuff coming down, drip edge, and then have this also be flush. So just like this little cove cavity thing, but it just means that I've got a straight line coming down between this point and here. So that seems pretty good. I mean, I guess I could have ripped things, but it just doesn't seem worth it with this framing. And then as I go along, I'm just trying to suck the 2x6 and the 2x4 together before attaching them both. Reality is there's a ton more to do on the roof, all kinds of bracing and stuff. Right now I'm just busting out little nubbins, little stiffening nubbins. You'll see that in a second. So there's some little finicky details, the little things, get it all squared up. $18 nubbins to a side, and I got 18 per bucket. And these are just to stiffen up the eaves. These are only a foot out. They're not very big, but with 2x4s, you never know if you get a little bit of wiggle. So those little dudes will just go underneath. 18 over here, 18 over there. Another thing I did, and I didn't get it on camera, but I basically ran a tape measure down here and over here, created a triangle. I ended up pulling my rope over to this peak. It was over at the one where I'm sitting. And I had to pull things back like maybe 3 inches, I think. I was 1 inch off my measurement, blah, blah, blah. Everything's all square. Like this thing is no longer parallel, like ramified. So the rope is holding it, bracing's holding it, and I'm starting to put some cross bracing down in here. Anyway, these little flangey holder things are on. And I've kind of got a weird feeling about this. I think I'm gonna want something to connect right there, so that might happen later. Just one more little piece of 2x4, 2x6, but for now, just leave it all gapped out. Then I dropped my bucket. All right, I got the Eave stuck on this side. It's like the far side. I didn't show you that, but it was pretty much the same as the other side. I'm still kind of debating about my little mini roofs. Like, do I frame those all up and get them all dialed in before I put the big guy on? This is like an internal debate. And I guess I've got a few little odds and ends to nip off. I also need to put nails all over the place because so far everything's just screwed. As for internal bracing here in truss land, we've got some long stuff just to kind of keep everything spaced. And then I've got some diagonals every which way, up on the tops and down on the bottoms. Now there is an impetus for all this bracing beyond my own paranoia. And it lies in these little tags here. So you're just working along and then you come across the tag that reads permanent lateral restraint and diagonal bracing required. So either I'm paranoid and someone else is paranoid, or these guys actually need some internal bracing. So that's coming along. I think I might have broken my own rule on this one. The rule having two parts. The first being buy your tools secondhand. And the second part being never spend more than $100 on a tool. So I told myself I'm gonna buy it, I'm just gonna use it for a day or two, and then I'm gonna return it. Now I don't mean like a scam, you know, not like a total scam, but just like decide I was dissatisfied with the tool. Tell myself deep down I didn't like it, it wasn't right for me. But the reality is that I'm falling in love with the tool. It's a little bit on the heavy side and I wish it held more nails at a time, but dang, it sure beats crawling around the old jungle gym with the air hose, snaking in and out of stuff and flopping on things and not reaching. So we'll see. I'm still kind of not 100% sold on it just because it's kind of new and fancy, but nice nailer. All right, everything is nailed off. I just kind of don't trust screws for their sheer strength. I like the way they hold stuff together, but I just feel a lot better with everything nailed and screwed. It's kind of like screwed, blued, and tattooed. All right, now there's that debate I was having about what to do next, because at this point I could slap the roof on this thing. But there is the issue of these shed roofs, these little small guys. And while it's tempting to roof up this whole top and just be like, yeah, put the roof on it, I think what's gonna happen then, if I don't get the roofs on these little dudes, is that when it rains, and it rains like crazy out here. Yeah, so when it rains, all that rain's gonna dump, just kind of like dump onto the container. And I don't know, I mean, it could handle it, but it'd be nicer if this was ready to roof too. So I'm gonna do the potentially less satisfying thing, but I think it might be the right thing to do, and see what kind of lumber I've got to strip these guys out, get purlins on them, and get them ready for roofing too. That thing's just been sitting there for like a couple weeks. I just kind of leave it. All right, now the problem with this plan is that I can't possibly have enough wood to do the job. Some of these are even 2x6s. I'm just gonna bring them up top and see how far we get. Definitely might be another run to the lumber yard in the future. Unless I've got some little 2x4s stashed away. No, this is just this is just explosives and plywood mainly. I'm gonna call this cut, move the ladder, cut situation totally ideal, but at least there's only 21 to a side to cut off. Plus that string was good because I got a little bit of wibbly-doo in here, so the string has kind of squared everything up. It'll just be a cleaner line in the end. It's not like the authorized way to move a ladder, but whatever. Scrap pile's getting bigger. A little more work and the framing on the second roof is done. So this bad boy is ready for metal. The top, as far as I can tell, ready for metal. That's all ready for metal. So in the next video, in my box barn building series, we got to put the metal on the roof. We just have to do that. And I already asked Melissa for help. She says she's gonna come out here and help me roof the box barn. So next episode, putting metal up on the roof. In the meantime, allow me to remind you that this is not necessarily a how-to video. It's just a story of how I'm doing it, step by step on this box barn build. I appreciate you checking it out.